The sounds of East London brass at the Carol concert around the Christmas tree in Walthamstow village are now a well-established tradition. Over the last few years, I've seen how the village and the whole area has become one of the most vibrant parts of London. I recently strolled around the village and asked some local people what they like best about the area, how it's changed, and their plans for Christmas. Many of them lived here for years before setting up one of the new businesses, pubs, shops, or other groups that have transformed Walthamstow. I began by speaking to Carolyn Abbott.
I'm Carolyn, and I've been coordinating E17 designers for about 10 years. And I've lived in Walthamstow for about 18 years, and I do remember the Frank Ison hardware stores, which are where the Walthamstow Village Window Gallery is now, when it actually was the hardware shop. And it did remind me very much of the Two Ronnies Fork Handles sketch, which is why it's so lovely to be back in here. So we've done a small display today. We're a local group of artist designer makers, and we've grown very much over the last 10 years. We're just having the window for this week to promote our events, which we run in the Asian Centre, or the Waltham Forest Community Hub as it's now known. So we're very much part of Walthamstow Village. Most of our events have taken place here over the last 6 to 10 years. When I first lived here, apart from the road itself, Orford Road, there really wasn't anything here. I think the bakery might have been here, and the spa used to be a Village Wines off licence. Then there was La Ruga, and at that point we didn't really come here very often at all. The last few years we started eating out here a bit more, and now so many more places have popped up. It's just amazing to see the difference and the amount of people who've moved in. So we feel very much at home here, although we actually live near the William Morris Gallery and Lloyd Park.
During our chat, Karen mentioned lots of other great things about the area.
Oh, definitely for us it's transport. So many different tube stations and railway stations and buses. We can get everywhere, anywhere, whenever we want to, and so can our children. It's great that we can get into town really easily. Also, we love the market. We shop local as much as we can. We don't have a car at the moment, so it's so easy to get everything locally. Also, we're so near the marshes and Epping Forest, so where we can, it's easy just to hop on a bus or on a bike and be in fresh air and green spaces. And also Lloyd Park is lovely, so we're so lucky to have chosen that as our home 18 years ago, because we're in there all the time, and that's regardless of our children being young or old. We very much enjoy using it, and now the William Morris Gallery has been renovated. It was always one of my favourite places when I used to come to Walthamstow about 28 years ago as a visitor. So it's lovely to see that it's still there and still very much in use.
I then had a chat with local furniture restorer Mark Finnimore.
Life always has been very nice here, in my opinion. Very, very mixed area, lots going on, and whatever age you are or whatever you're interested in, you'll always find things that you can get involved in. So I love it here. Well, I've always thought that one of the nicest things about the area is the mix of people. When my daughter went to the local school, we thought it was a fantastic thing that within that school there were 32 different languages. Some of our friends that lived on the other side of London didn't really always see that as a positive, but we thought that was an amazing positive. And she's now a 22-year-old with a very open view about life and had a very good education here. And the other really good things about the area are that there's all kinds of drama groups, music groups, dance. I mean, I'm at an age now where I'm thinking, oh, well, do I want to stay here anymore? And I go and look at places out of London, and we fall in love with places. But when we come back here, I'm so busy with so many things that are going on, I forget about what we've been out to see. So, I'm at that kind of stage where I'm thinking about leaving, but every time, we come back, I think, how can I leave this? It's so lovely.
After that, I dropped in to see Lawrence Younger, who took over the Queen's Arms 3 years ago, changing it from a traditional East End boozer into something more like a gastropub.
The difference for me over the last 10 years in Walthamstow is a Sunday roast in a pub, and I think you'd have struggled to find that in Walthamstow 10 years ago. I know the Bell does an excellent roast. I think we do. The Castle as well. It's all more reason to stay within the borough, within Walthamstow. Yeah, it's becoming quite a hub actually, I think, Walthamstow. But I'm proud to be a part of that, really. We're also great friends with the East London Brass. If anybody gets a chance to go and see their little production of Snowman in the church down the road, I thoroughly recommend it. I don't cry very often, but I always cry. It's really moving. They're such great players. They're not amateurs. They are great players. And then they're coming here to have their after show, their Christmas party. They're a great bunch of people. And I'm going to book the back room for them, and in return, if I twist their arm good enough, they're going to do a little performance here.
I then wandered up Orford Road to talk to Rowand McIntyre, who, with a group of friends, set up wine merchants in Vino Veritas last year. He explained why they had opened the shop and what they were doing for Christmas.
We're all based here, and it was here that we saw the niche. Here we saw the need, if you like. I mean, there was nowhere really in this sort of area of Walthamstow to buy good wine. I mean, there's other shops that sell wine, but they have other focuses. So they're not solely focused on their wine selection and providing a good across-the-board selection of wine, whereas we do. I mean, certainly, I think we've timed things quite well, or things were timed quite well, although it was entirely deliberate. I mean, there's been with the fact that the area's changed quite dramatically in the last few years. But I think certainly for our business, it's increased the range of customer that we can reach out to. So that's helped to a certain extent. But we're always keen to maintain an offer for everybody, people who've been here for years and the people who just moved here. I mean, one of the great things about Walthamstow is you see different people here, and you always have done to a certain extent. It's not that's not changed so much. I mean, maybe the blend has changed slightly, or the mix, but there's always been a good mix of different people living here, different walks of life, different countries, different incomes, and that's one of the great things. We've got our free tastings every Thursday night running up till Christmas, where we're doing different different suppliers coming every Thursday. We've always had the apéro, the free nibbles on Thursday night, so that combines with that. We're going to do a bit more food matching with the nibbles, with the wines that are on offer then. We've got other open tastings, we've got special offers going on. We're hoping to be able to offer a wide selection of wines, both to be able to drink at Christmas, but also to give us gifts and other gifts ideas. So hopefully we'll be able to take advantage of everyone's Christmas spirit.
Now, we all know that wine and cheese are a great Christmas combination. What about cheese and beer? Mark Newby from Froth and Rind, which started selling both a couple of years ago, gave me his thoughts.
Cheese and beer is something that, certainly I think if you were to go back 10 years and it was very much more ale as opposed to craft beer, which is associated with being quite warm, quite flat, that wouldn't work with, decent cheese. But I think the whole boom in the craft beer market, and because there are so many different varieties of flavours that you can now get within a craft beer, and some of the tasting notes are quite subtle, I actually think beer works better with cheese than wine does.
Mark and his business partner Fraser clearly love what they do, and they have big plans for Christmas.
The best bit about this is I like talking to people, and I get to talk a lot in here, probably too much if you were to ask Fraser. But yeah, I think we've developed some really good, strong relationships with our customers, and the fact that you see them coming back every day or every other day confirms that we must be doing something right. We've already taken, I think, about 45 hamper orders for Christmas, varying sizes with different cheeses, which went down really well last year. I think we did about 150 last year, which put quite a strain on us, because obviously they're handmade, hand-cut, boxed, and because people want them picked up on different days, you've got to make sure that you've got the right ones ready for the right day. Last year we had over 300 kilos of cheese delivered in the first week of December, which we thought was way too much. We struggled to store it all, and by the time we got to the end of the 23rd of December, there was literally one 200 gram piece of cheese left in the cheese counter. Everything had gone. It was like a Russian supermarket in the 1980s. It was crazy. So this year we've ordered 400 kilos of cheese in the hope that we don't run out. But we had no idea last year what the demand would be, and it just went completely off the charts. So we've tried to make sure this year we've got enough to keep people well stocked over Christmas.
Later in the day, I went back to the Queen's Arms to have a pint with another local, Neil Collins. Neil lived abroad for many years, but was drawn back to the area and set up estate agents Estate 17. He gave me his thoughts as we approach Christmas 2016.
It's good, it's great. I mean, it's a great place to work. I mean, Alford Road is a very nice place to be. Walthamstow Village it's got a certain charm that you can't quite put your finger on. And I'm not bigging up the area, you know. I mean, it's nice that it's not a busy road because you get to meet people, you get to meet the community. I mean, a lot of the business owners are now my friends, you know. I mean, you say Lawrence is a good friend of mine now, you know, we talk all the time. Walthamstow is now potentially one of the coolest places in London, where you've got this very big creative influence in the area, you know. There's lots of creatives that live here. And everyone's expressing themselves, you know, and you can see it as you walk down roads, not just in the village, but central Walthamstow, the art on the walls, and St James Street, Black Horse Road. The whole area's got this kind of like Bronxy kind of feel, you know, and it's making the area more attractive. Walthamstow is, I mean, it's incredible. When you look at Walthamstow now to where it was 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, even, 10 years ago, God, it was a completely different place, you know, really. It's a place you can be free, I think, Walthamstow, you know. You're free to be creative, you're free to open businesses like I've done, you know. It's a good place to be if you're a young or middle-aged person that is looking to change your life, start a new business, start a new brand. Walthamstow must be probably one of the best places to do it at the moment, really. You can see it with the shops that are opening. You've got Cove that's just opened up in central Walthamstow, Brioche Burger, Yard Arm down in Francis Road. You know, like, these are great brands, and it's nice to see different people's interpretations of how businesses should be. You know, it makes the world a new place, and it makes it a more interesting place to be, which is why Walthamstow is a very interesting place to live.
The genuine love that all the people I spoke to have for the area was obvious, and whatever challenges 2017 might bring, I'm sure their passion and drive will ensure that this part of London continues to be a thriving hub of creativity, craft and innovation. Happy Christmas to everyone in Walthamstow and beyond.